Hey YouTube, how's it going? Felix here. Today I'm doing my fourth update video on the 2020 Renault Clio 1.3 TCE EDC automatic turbo petrol car. What a great name, super long. So yeah, today I'm doing my fourth update video. Let's just jump in. And I have got some stuff to tell you about in this video. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. So you can see the mileage here. I've covered 5,361 miles overall. So that's about 8,000 kilometers, just over 8,000 kilometers. And for a long time since my last update video, the car's been doing absolutely fantastic. Everything was absolutely fine, no problems at all. In fact, even the problem which I mentioned in my last video, which was the problem with Android Auto disconnecting, even that had started to get a lot better, and I was a lot happier about it. I think the car didn't necessarily have any updates, but my mobile phone did, and Android Auto on my phone had got updated a few times, and everything was starting to go a lot better, and it was starting to disconnect less and less, and I was very happy, and everything was going great. In fact, I even took the car on a bit of a road trip down to Norfolk, and I got some fantastic fuel economy out of the car, and I took a little video when I was there, so let me just put that in now. Okay, so check this out. I've just driven all the way down from Surrey to Norfolk with the dog here. The dog's with me here in the back. We're going a little camping trip together. And so the trip I just did was 173 miles, say. Averaged, say, 46 miles per hour. Basically, the whole way I was on the motorway, I was doing 65 miles per hour. I'll put down here on the screen what it is in kilometers per hour. But look at that, 67.2 miles per gallon UK. That is incredible fuel economy for a car with a 1.3 litre petrol engine. Absolutely crazy. I'm so impressed with the fuel economy on this Renault Clio V. I don't think petrol cars of this size get much better than that, to be honest. So yeah, 173 miles, 65 miles per hour, incredible fuel economy. Me and the dog are super impressed, aren't we, buddy? Yeah. So yes, the Clio was absolutely fantastic on that trip up to Norfolk. Fantastic fuel economy in this little car. I'm always so impressed by the fuel economy on it. I really am of the opinion that getting a Clio with perhaps the slightly bigger engine, so that's the 1.3 litre engine versus the smaller 1 litre engine, which you can also get this car with, you may well get better fuel economy by having the slightly bigger engine, just because it's got a bit more power and you're not going to be working the engine so hard, and that may yield you some better fuel economy. But of course, yeah, your mileage may vary. So yeah, the car was absolutely fantastic for a very long time, but I've had my first real problem with the car recently. So let me tell you all about that and what happened. So I'm sure you all know that the Renault Clio V comes with one of these card keys. It's a key with presence detection. So as you walk away from the car, I'll demonstrate, the car should automatically lock itself. Like, there we go, it's just done it. So the car will lock itself as you walk away. It's a really cool feature and really quite useful to have that keyless entry. One thing that also happens is when you have the car, when you walk away from the car at night, the LED lights here, the daytime running lights, which are the lights in this little bar here and this bit on the below the light on the front, they're also on the back. Those lights will stay on for a short period of time to make sure you don't, make sure you don't fall over as you walk into your front door. They stay on for a short period of time and then they turn themselves off after a few seconds. Once the car is locked. But a few days ago, my dad was driving the car and he parked the car up and he noticed that after he'd walked away from the car and the car had locked itself, these daytime running lights here, they didn't turn off. They didn't turn off for a good sort of 10 minutes after walking away from the car. And my dad thought it was a bit weird. So he came back over to the car after noticing this. He got in. He checked the lights here on the end of the indicator stalk. I'm sure you can see them here. There's three settings. There's the auto, the side lights, and the main beam lights. He checked all that stuff and made sure the lights were still in auto and there wasn't any manual override or anything like that. And there isn't on this car. Basically, all you've got is just the auto lights. It's the only real setting you have. He checked all that stuff, he tried walking away from the car again, and the lights still wouldn't turn off, which he thought was a bit weird. So at that point, he then sort of took the car, started it, drove it round the block, and then parked it up again and hoped that the lights would turn off. And it turns out they didn't. The daytime running lights on the Renault didn't turn off all night. They stayed on all night, and these ones as well. So these daytime running lights here in the top of you can see them on there. These daytime running lights, they stayed on as well all night, and they ended up draining the car's battery. It was a really weird issue. So in the morning, we called up the Renault support line, and the guys at Renault came over. They sent someone from the RAC for the second time, actually, in the lifetime of this car. They sent a man over to come have a look. And to be honest, he didn't really have any answers. He suggested it might be a short circuit somewhere, which had caused the daytime running lights to stay on, and he trickle charged the car, connected up to a trickle charger, and told us to go get in touch with a dealer, which we did. So after we trickle charged the Renault up, the only error that I could actually see on the car was an error with the TPMS, or the tyre pressure monitoring system. So that had failed, I guess because the car had gone completely flat, the battery had gone completely flat, and then we charged it back up again. It had lost the calibration for the tyre pressure monitoring system. So that's not a big deal. I just reset the tyre pressure monitoring system, and then everything appeared to be sort of okay, and there were no more real issues with the car, and it was then drivable once again. And so since then, the issue with the daytime running lights staying on has not actually happened again. But anyway, I still wanted to get the car fixed because I thought, there was definitely a problem with the car. So I called up the Renault service centre, our local dealer, and they said the closest time they could do to get the car booked in for a service was 30 days, over a month, in mid-October. So I then I looked around for another dealer, and I found another dealer from a different group a little bit further away, and they could get the car looked at much sooner. So I booked in with them. And they had the car for the day. They checked everything, and they basically said that there were no fault codes on the ECU of the Renault. There were no fault codes listed. There were no problems. All they did really was just reset the software on the car. They reset the ECU, and they also reset the software here on the head unit, on the multimedia EasyLink system, to the latest software, and they told me to keep an eye on it and see if it happens again, which, to be honest, I think is a bit of a difficult solution, because then it means it's one of these very, very annoying intermittent faults, which are always the worst thing to suffer with on a car, because you can never quite pin down what's causing it. So anyway, since then I've been driving around the car, and I've got some more thoughts. So since the car has been to the dealership and has had the full software update done on it, I guess they've restored the head unit here to its factory settings and then sort of reinstalled everything to the latest software version, thinking that might help fix all these sort of the various electrical issues with the car. One thing that's happened, which is super, super annoying, is my Android Auto issues, where the car is disconnecting, my mobile phone is disconnecting from the car all the time. They're back, and they're worse than ever. I was driving the car back from the dealership, and I was so close to just turning the car around and just taking it straight back there, because I was so upset and annoyed because my Android Auto was disconnecting literally continuously, where it would just disconnect every 3 or 4 seconds, which I just found unbelievably annoying. And that's using exactly the same cable, exactly the same USB port as the cable was plugged in when I drove the car to the dealer, and I had absolutely no problems whatsoever. So now I'm just thinking, like, maybe they damaged the cable while the car was in the dealership shop. Super annoying. So I've now switched here to a different cable, but I'm still experiencing the same issues, and that's using the latest software version. So honestly, I don't know what's caused that issue. It's super, super annoying. But yeah, it's a little bit upsetting, this thing with the Renault, to be honest. The car was super, super reliable, and I really dislike electrical issues, to be honest, on cars, because they can be very, very difficult to pin down exactly what's wrong. Mechanical issues, they're fine. If the car had like a bad wheel bearing or something, we could easily just get that fixed under warranty. No stress. You continue driving and you're happy on your way. But these electrical issues can be quite tricky, so I'm going to keep a really good eye on it, and I will let you know as soon as anything happens, if anything else does happen to the Renault. And just to add, for those people who have a Renault Clio V with the big EasyLink multimedia system with the big screen, my system is up to date, and I'm currently running software version, that one, the one ending in 331R. That's the software version I'm currently on. Let me know if you're on the same software version and you experience the same issues with Android Auto. Maybe you can all group together and get Renault to make a proper fix for this. That'd be really, really good. A class action. We'll all get together and make them sort it out. So I hope you enjoyed this little update video on the Renault Clio V. I'm slightly annoyed about the little issues we've been having recently, and the continuing issues with Android Auto, which still haven't been fixed. Those two little things, they do upset me a little bit, but I'm still very, very happy with the Renault Clio. I do like this car, and I'm still so impressed with the fuel economy and the general sort of just performance of the 1.3 litre EDC automatic variant of this car. I'm not being paid by Renault, and I never will be, so I'm always going to be super, super honest about this car today and tomorrow and in the future. So if you're interested in more updates on the Renault Clio V, then definitely consider subscribing, maybe liking the video. I'm always producing new content on this. Whenever anything interesting happens, I'll let you know first of all. And yeah, maybe subscribe for more stuff like this. Thanks a lot. See you soon. Cheers.